Mortal Kombat. Basically, the PC version is what I'm here to talk about, because that's the only version of the game I have any experience with at this moment. And let me make it known that my experience with this game is about that much. About the size of my member. Yep, the PC version of Mortal Kombat X sadly came with some controversy and a lot of issues. As soon as the game became available to play, surprise, surprise, you only have 3 gigabytes of the game, and we're going to let you play some singles matches and maybe some one-on-ones. I forget what the matches that were available at the time were. But we're going to give you a couple of game modes, basic game modes to play, while the rest of the game downloads in the background. Okay, other games have done this. A lot of the PlayStation 4 and Xbone games are currently using a similar model where you'll install so much of the game and it'll let you start playing and it'll install the rest in the background. Which I think is a cool concept because, especially these days, games are getting bigger and bigger and they're taking longer and longer to install. When you pre-purchase a game, if they have a preloading feature, basically you can download the full game before the release date. And then on the release date, the game will be unlocked for you and you can play it. So you technically have the game installed and ready to go, for the most part, for the day the game is released. Now, here's the thing. The rest of the files to install the game do not start down, or they weren't supposed to start downloading until you started the game for the first time. As soon as you start the game for the first time, they automatically start downloading. I would assume because the first couple packs were only like 400 megabytes, maybe that had the rest of the stuff in it and those would download so fast that you wouldn't notice that you weren't able to play any of the stuff. I don't know. The way they claimed, it would be ready to go right out of the gate. That's not right out of the gate. So basically what happened is everybody got their pre-purchased Mortal Kombat when it became available at midnight on the 14th. For those of us in the eastern part of the US, you know, other parts of the world, it was probably different. The play button popped up on the Steam app. I was like, sweet, it's midnight, it's 12:01, click, get to it, and all you get is a menu with pixelated graphics. Like, some of it looked alright, but there was a lot of missing pixels and weird stuff going on. So I closed it out and I noticed that nothing's downloading. There's nothing in my queue. It's doing absolutely nothing. So I try a couple times to reboot Steam and go back into the game and close out of the game, go into the game, try to play a single one-on-one match, and the game fucking crashes. So what the fuck's the problem? I go on to the forums for Mortal Kombat X on the Steam community. Everybody's having the same problem. Nobody's downloads are starting. By this time it was probably 2-3 o'clock in the morning, which for me is normal because I work nights. I'm a DJ. I mostly work on the weekends, and my bedtime is usually around 8 o'clock in the morning. So I'm a vampire. I'm a night person. Definitely not a day walker. I mean, look at how pale I am. Obviously, I have a serious vitamin D deficiency. Everybody's pissed off. The forums are going crazy. People calling it the best menu simulator ever, because that's pretty much all you would get as a menu. If you tried to play anything, it would crash and go back to Windows. You would think they would have somebody in the chain of people that are responsible for making sure this game launches properly and gets to everybody that bought it in a timely manner. You'd think there would be somebody in the offices. Somebody at Steam, somebody at NetherRealm, somebody monitoring the launch. But the thing is, it got to be about 8 o'clock in the morning, my bedtime, and still no word from anybody. At a certain point, somebody posted on the forums, I just talked to somebody from so-and-so, and they had no idea there was any problem. Like, have they been reading Twitter? Because I look on Mortal Kombat X under Twitter, And every third post or so is a PC gamer saying this shit sucks. The game's broken, you know? And the biggest problem I had was when I bought the game. I was going to hold out for this game because I'm going to get the Batman Arkham Knight PS4 bundle when it comes out. That's why I haven't bought a PS4 yet. And this was supposed to be a review video. But my issue with the game was on the store page of Steam. Like, they don't make things very clear for the noobs of the PC gaming world. Every PC game I've gotten up until this point works beautifully on my machine. I haven't had any problems. You know, of course, I can't run at full settings on a lot of them, but I don't really care about that. You know, especially the resolution and stuff like that. I play on a big screen TV, and if you got to drop the resolution a bit, yeah, it looks funny, but it's not hard to see, and it still looks decent. You know, I'm not that much of a stickler. So, anyways, I feel like on the store page in Steam, like, they should have something more specific. Like for Mortal Kombat, a lot of people are saying that it's not really made for mobile GPUs. Okay, but that was nowhere. Like, yeah, in the system requirements, obviously it doesn't say, you know, this game will work with a 650 or 660M. You know, it just says the regular ones. But I'm kind of new to the whole mobile GPU thing. So I get the game, and, you know, finally, I think it was around 9 o'clock in the morning when the downloads finally showed up. You know, you can watch the Angry Stoner wants to play Mortal Kombat X here on my channel. I was just being silly, and I'd been up way too long. I was slap happy. That was cinematic marijuana that was in my bowl, if anybody asks. That was not real stuff. This is a professional thing I'm running here. I would never smoke real marijuana on YouTube. I start the game, and it looks like complete shit. Now, the cutscenes for the story mode look awesome. I mean, it's cinematic. It's, you know, they ran beautifully. Perfect frame rate, graphics, everything. But then you get into the fighting, and like, there were body parts missing. There were broken pixels. There was, it looked like everybody had like black dust on them. I guess the shadows weren't rendering properly or something. It was just a mess. Just a complete mess. And I was like, this can't be just because of the settings. So I maxed everything out, and I went in. It was probably getting like 10 frames per second with everything maxed out. At least when I lowered everything, I was getting about 20, 21, something like that. Still not good enough. But yeah, but all the graphical glitches were still there. I figured out that I needed to update my NVIDIA drivers, and that fixed the graphical issues, but the frame rate, still horrible. Like, dude, it looks beautiful now. Like, the game looks really good on my computer. It just can't handle the frame rate. So you could say, well, that's just because I'm running a mobile processor or mobile GPU and yada, yada, yada. But here's the thing. You look on the forums, and nearly 90% of everybody that's playing this game are having the same fucking issues. Not the graphical stuff. A couple people have, but I told them to update their drivers, and I think they did, and they said it was cool now. So, basically, if I have to give this game a review right now, don't fuck with it. Do not buy Mortal Kombat X for PC. Don't do it. You're throwing your money away. Unless you have the latest, the greatest, top-notch, top-of-the-line, $5,000 computer gaming rig, don't fuck with it. It's not going to be a very enjoyable experience. I would love to have a refund, but I know Steam is not really known for being a company that takes care of their customers. So, hey, you know what? That's cool. Steam's the only game in town, pretty much, so they can do that. They're like Comcast or Time Warner. They're fucking crooks. But we got to put up with it, right? I'm angry. But not so much at the fact that the game was broken at launch. Not so much that it's still having problems, but it bothers me that they're not more straightforward on the store pages about, hey, this game might have problems with mobile GPUs. Hey, anything like that. You know, like, be more straightforward with your games. Like, because so many people are having issues with this game, and a big part of it could be because of bugs. It probably needs a good patch. But, you know, a lot of people thought they had hardware that would handle it, and they should, according to system requirements, but it's not working out the way it's supposed to. Oh, and most of the workload for this game is going to be put on your computer's CPU rather than the GPU, which is totally ass backwards. Of course, the CPU is going to have to do some of the work, but people are reporting that the computer processor is doing like 90% of the processing, 90% of the work, while the GPU is going to like 30%. So basically, forget about Mortal Kombat X on PC. Don't go with it. It's not worth your money. It's not worth your time. It's not worth the headache. NetherRealm, Valve, Warner Brothers all need to get together and do something to make this right. Now, it doesn't have to be a free game. It doesn't have to be a lot of store credit. People deserve something for having a game in their possession for 10 hours that they couldn't do anything with. And people contacted tech support saying, oh, we didn't know there was a problem. Really? Read Twitter, motherfuckers. Somebody had to have known. Surely somebody had ran across a couple tweets. And you should have had somebody there to work on it. Somebody to get on and say, hey guys, we're working on this, be patient. But nothing. And two, don't test out something like Stream Download on a game that you know a lot of people have been waiting for and have been hyped about. Because, like, if there is a problem, then you have thousands of people. Like, where the fuck is my game? And that's bad. That's bad PR. And if you bought the physical copy of the game disc, as in one, if you know anything about PC games, usually there's multiple discs if you buy a physical copy. So the one game disc also only had 3 gigabytes on it. It makes no sense. There are people on the forums in other countries and even in the US talking about, well, I have data caps. I can't download 25 gigabytes or however much it was of data. That's why I bought the physical copy. So, thanks a lot, Steam. Thank you to all the Steam gamers that bought Mortal Kombat X. Have fun with your horrible frame rate. Basically, if you want to play Mortal Kombat X on a PC, you'd be best just get you a bunch of Vaseline and spread your butt cheeks and rub that Vaseline all over your brown eye and back up as hard as you can into a doorknob, because that's exactly what Steam and NetherRealm and Warner Brothers and everybody else involved in this game have basically done to all of us. Thanks for watching. Please rate and subscribe. Please follow me on social media. See the shit right there. There's no reason why you can't hit that red subscribe button. I'm not going to flood your subscription channels, your subscription feed. Give me a thumbs up. If you're having problems with this game, talk about it in the comments below. Let everybody know you're pissed off. Because if we just sit there and we're like, oh, they'll fix it eventually, then you know what? They're going to be like, well, they don't care. You know, obviously we can release a broke game and nobody's going to say anything about it. So fuck it. Don't get it twisted. Thanks for watching.